What is going on, beautiful people of the world? My name is Garrett Wolf, and I am the host of the #1 podcast for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs. I've built my body over the last 8 years, and in the last 3 years, I've helped hundreds of online clients shred unwanted fat and embody the best version of themselves. Now, let's jump right into today's show. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Alpha Movement Podcast. This is the #1 show for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, all without giving up the most enjoyable aspects of their life. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the two most common avatar clients that I seem to be working with in my online coaching business. And so these two different types of clients are not only the two different types of people that I see within my business itself, but I also see the two different types of people in the real world. And I'm going to get into, the ins and outs of both of them, the pros and cons of both of them, how you can kind of pull yourself out of one of them and turn into and craft yourself into the other one that actually gets it done. Sorry, I should have maybe came up with names. I'm saying the other one, this one, that one. I know it's kind of confusing, but there's basically one type of client avatar that'll be successful and another type of client avatar that will not be successful in a coaching program or even with an in-person trainer. And so I'm going to talk about the ins and outs of both of them, why I can give both of them the same exact plan, and one of them will succeed, the other one will not succeed, and how the person who isn't succeeding can make a few changes and what they can do to kind of dig themselves out of the graveyard, dig themselves out of negative momentum, and really start making progress towards their fitness goals. All right, so that hopefully maybe you sitting at home can decide what type of person you are, because these are really the only two type of people that I see. I don't really see anybody else. So you can kind of figure out which one you are, and then figure out if you kind of want to stay unsuccessful and maybe give up on your fitness goals, if that's something you want to do, or if you're someone who wants to pursue their fitness goals and really make it fucking happen, how you can get out of the graveyard and really fix yourself up and start making progress towards your fitness goals. All right, so you guys already know the deal. If at any point during this episode you enjoy what I have to say, or you think what I have to say is valuable, then please screenshot my face, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at _Garrett Wolf, and I will reshare it to my story and send you a free gift. Let me just make sure that this camera is in focus right now. It looks a bit out of focus to me. Oh no, I think it's in focus. I'm pretty sure it's in focus. It's in a different spot, as you can tell. If you guys have been watching the pod, it's in a new spot now. I got some good feedback on this spot that I have it in right now, so I'm going to kind of keep it here for now. We'll see. The pod's going to be changing over the next 5 weeks. There's some gnarly shit happening. My show is coming up, #1. So we're going to be going to Texas, and then #2, another crazy thing is happening that I'll be letting you guys know really soon once we know some more information. I know I've been talking about it, hinting at it a lot, but I really don't know what is happening. So I'll let you know once I know, but that's all I can really say for now. Other than that, guys, the two different types of people, the successful client and the unsuccessful client. The difference is one of them, right? Because I give both these clients the same plan when they join the Alpha Movement Academy. They drink a gallon of water, right? They have to do 10,000 steps. This is if you're cutting, right? It's a different protocol if you're bulking, but right now we're running a cutting program. So drink a gallon of water a day, right? 10,000 steps a day. Then you have a workout plan, then you have a diet plan with macros. Then some people can have a few other habits, and other people can have a different type of habits depending on what type of person you are. And that's what I'm going to get into in this podcast today. So what's the difference between someone who's successful on the program and someone who's unsuccessful on the program, even though I give them the exact same protocol, not the exact same, things to do, but the exact same, app. They're on the exact same coaching calls. They're on the exact same, not workout plan exactly the same, but they each get a workout plan. You know what I'm trying to say, right? They each get the same exact plan, for lack of a better word, pretty much at the end of the day. And the difference is it's pretty simple. You guys are going to be like, no shit, but one person, the successful person, can follow it. The unsuccessful person cannot follow it. And you're like, oh, no fucking shit. If you don't follow the plan, you're not going to get results. But here's the thing. For an in-person trainer, they only train with you 1, 2, maybe 3 times a week, right? And they only focus on training. They don't focus on your diet plan. They don't focus on your steps. They don't focus on your cardio, because no trainer stands next to you on the treadmill and watches you do cardio. I've never seen that. Let me know if you have. The trainer doesn't care about your diet, and they barely ever even specify a goal, right? And so online coaching is kind of the same way, but not really. I do it online. I give you everything possible. But the comparison I'm trying to draw here is, in person, you're forced to follow the plan. right? Because you go to the gym and the only way you don't follow it is if you cancel the appointments with the trainer, right? But for online coaching, the most I can physically do for you is give you a plan, hop on calls with you when you need help, run coaching calls, run, podcasts like this one to give you lessons about how you might be able to follow the plan more successful. And at the end of the day, it's ultimately up to you whether or not you can follow the program or not. And so here's the difference, because there's another nuance here, because the only difference isn't just that one can follow the plan and be successful and the other person can't follow the plan and is unsuccessful. The difference is the person who can follow the plan has a bigger why, or a deeper why, a deeper meaning as to why they need to follow the plan. Because you take two clients, right? You give them the exact same protocol. One of them can follow it, one of them cannot follow it, for lack of a better term, even though they are, they say they want to get it done. They say they'll do anything possible to get it done. They just cannot follow it. And so I had this happen to me the other day, literally yesterday. A client messaged me and they were like, you can give me all the plans and all the trainings that you want, but I just can't follow it. I have no structure in my life. That's the key term, right? Structure. They have no structure. Remember, a structure needs to be built. But then I can give another client the exact same protocol and they'll follow it with no complaints. I've seen this over and over again. I send them the protocol, they follow it. They follow everything, they get results. Boom. It's like magic. I am this kind of client, right? I have an online coach who gives me the exact same protocol that I use. They use the same app that I use. We do everything the same because we're both online coaches. We have a very similar structure, very similar protocol. He gave me my plan and I just follow it every day. I have no problem. I mean, it's hard. It's not like it's easy. It's not easy to prepare for a bodybuilding competition, but I look at the plan. I'm like, what do I need to do in my life to get every single one of these things done? And that's just how I am. That's just how I am as a person. But I wasn't always like this. This was developed, right? This is something I want to point on, pinpoint right here with you guys, is I was not always like this, someone you can just give a plan and I'll follow it. It was built through years and years of dedication, and I think you build up that dedication through a fitness journey, right? Because you have to go to the gym, over and over and over again if you want to actually see results. So for someone that hasn't gone to the gym over and over and over again, someone that hasn't built up dedication and, tenacity and perspicacity in their life, they're not able to stick to this program even though I give them everything they need to do. But one of the things that I did to pull myself out of that negative momentum and figure out how to actually start making progress on this plan that I may have is I needed to get micro wins. I needed to trust myself again. Because one of the biggest problems these people run into is that they just don't freaking trust themselves. Because they're looking at the nutrition plan, they're like, all right, I got to eat this, this, and that. And then they literally watch themselves in the back of their subconscious. They spectate themselves eating a candy bar instead because they let their cravings win. Why? Because they don't trust themselves. It's not like their cravings are any harder than my cravings. My cravings are just as hard, I promise you that. But I trust myself on such a fundamental level that if I were to break that trust with myself, I would feel disgusted. I'd feel horrified. And I would be in more pain than I would have been if I just sat in my hunger. Literally, I experience this every single day on a day-to-day basis. I'm on contest prep and I am in a severe calorie deficit every single day. I'm walking 16 to 20,000 steps every day. I drink 2 gallons of water every single day. I have to work out every single day, 5 days a week. I only get 2 rest days, but on those rest days, I still have to hit 20,000 steps. Do you have any idea how many steps 20,000 steps is? The average American gets 4,000. 4! I'm walking 5 times the amount of steps as an average person. It is not easy, and my cravings are no less hard, are no easier than your fucking cravings, right? And I'm not trying to derail you or be mean. I'm telling you how I do it. I do it by getting wins over and over and over again. I'm on a 21-day kill streak on my trainer eyes with my coach because I haven't missed a single fucking day. I literally haven't missed a day. And how did I do that? I started by, on day 1, hold on, let me turn down the mic gain. It's a little bit loud. Sorry about that, guys. On day 1, I started in positive momentum. I weighed myself right in the morning because track body stats, you have to do that every single day. I weighed myself right in the morning. Boom, micro win. The second thing I would do is I would grab this bottle of water and I would chug the fuck out of it until I literally couldn't, until my stomach was full as shit. I would chug it. Another win. It's easy to drink water, right? You can drink water. Boom, that's 2 wins under my belt. Number 3, I'd go to the bathroom and I would take a progress photo because that's what you have to do on day 1 of a plan. That's 3 wins. Number 4, I would make my bed. It's about starting with little wins. Little wins like making your bed, drinking water, tracking your body stats. You can step on a scale. You can move sheets around and pillows and blankets a little bit. You can drink water, right? And then I would write down 3 of my whys. This is a really important one because you need to remind yourself right in the morning, every single morning, write down 3 of your whys. You need to remind yourself why you even doing this shit in the first place. There's I forget the number exactly, but it's hundreds of thousands of thoughts that go on in your head. I think it's like 200,000 thoughts. It's probably more. And 95% of them, 90 to 95% of them are the same, right? But then there's a 5% variance. So if you're trying to do something new, like a fitness journey, that's the 5% variance. That's the new stuff. The 5% thoughts that are kind of changing, the new thoughts that pop into your head over and over again. So you need to turn that 5% into the 90. You need to get it into the reoccurring thought pattern. You can do this by putting things up in your environment, putting up a vision board, getting a ring light. I got a ring light to take progress photos. I literally have a camera on my desk. It reminds me every single day, but you can do things that don't cost any money, like writing down your whys, like printing out pictures of people you might want to look like, or printing out reminders, maybe a motivational quote. You can write down quotes, putting a reminder on your phone background, putting a reminder on your computer screen. This is how you turn that 5% variance into a reoccurring thought pattern in your head. I've done this over and over and over again with online coaching. First, it was with fitness, right? Because I wasn't always just a fitness fanatic. I did it first with fitness by literally buying fitness books, by printing out literal pictures of men who are shredded. I know it sounds weird, but it's really not weird because I wasn't looking at them like that. I printed them out as motivation. I put them on my fucking phone background. I put them on my walls. I would literally take hella pictures of myself so that every time I opened my camera roll, I was reminded of how disgusted I was with my body. I would literally do that every single day until I was thinking this reoccurring thought over and over and over again, so that I wouldn't have to, think about it every single day. It would just be a reoccurring thought. It would be the first thing I think of when I wake up, right? And so you need to craft your why. The difference between someone who's successful with the program I give them and someone who can't follow the program I give them is their reason. Why? Why do you want to accomplish it in the first place? And if you can't answer that question, then I would question why you're even on a fitness plan in the first place, right? I had to do this again when I started online coaching, because if you guys follow my story for a while, I was a fucking trying to be a pro gamer for the longest time. And I just did that based on habit because I was addicted to the video games. I didn't need a reminder. I would wake up and hop on my computer every single day, right? And so I needed to pull myself out of that addiction and become, for lack of a better term, addicted to something else. I needed to become addicted to online coaching. I needed to figure out the action steps that are required to be an online coach. And that consists of posting on all socials every day. That consists of running a podcast. That consists of messaging 50 to 100 people every single day. That consists of trying to follow 50 to 100 people every single day, depending on whether or not you get action blocked on Instagram, right? I've been action blocked like a million times on Instagram. I hope I don't get banned, but anyway, I'm slowing it down because I don't want to get banned, right? So really it's like 25 to 50 people now. It used to be 200. I used to literally follow 200 people and unfollow 200 people every single day. That's how I built my initial 10K followers, was literally follow for follow, commenting on people's posts, liking people's posts. But that strategy stopped working after I passed 10,000 followers, and I just grew from there organically and from partnering up with agencies who can put me in front of more people, right? And then the same thing, when I partnered with that agency, we decided to make a deal together. We came together, and now I can use their services, and I also run the agency at the same time, so I can help other clients. And what does that persist of? That persists of more content, building up your brand, messaging other people about agency services, building relationships, right? So now I'm doing that. My newest venture is real estate. So what am I doing? I'm listening to audiobooks. I found someone who is a real estate guru, Ryan Pineda. I love this guy. I've been talking about him over and over again on my podcast. He's the guy that comes up on your TikTok and has purple hair or blue hair or white hair because he's always changing his hair color. And that makes him stick out on social media, which is pretty cool. I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm literally listening to Ryan Pineda's audiobook right now. I'm halfway done. I bought real estate books because you need to buy into your goals. If you don't buy into your goals, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't buy into your goals, how do you expect to pursue them? So the difference between someone who hops on my plan and can stick to the plan and be successful and someone who can't stick to the plan and isn't successful is because they haven't done any investment into themselves. Maybe you should buy a fitness book. Maybe you should write down 3 of your whys. Maybe you should change your diet. Maybe you should buy some lettuce, put it in your fridge, and then when you open the fridge, you'll see the lettuce and put a sticky note on the lettuce that says, eat me. That would remind you every single day that you want to lose weight. Eat the fucking lettuce instead of the Snickers bar. But if you don't have a reminder in your environment, of course you're going to go to the Snickers bar, because humans are creatures of habit, and you've been in this habit of eating whatever the fuck you want for so goddamn long. You've been in this habit of distrusting yourself, of going against your own goals, against your own mind for so long, that how do you expect to just flip a switch and follow a new plan, a new program, the 5% variance, if you don't even buy yourself into your goals, if you don't even remind yourself what your goals are? Of course you're going to forget. Of course you're going to forget. So what I did for this client that came to me is I changed up their plan a little bit. I gave them a new daily habit that says write down 3 of your whys. I also sent them one of my podcasts that's titled Momentum Over Motivation every single time. It's like episode 10, I believe. Because motivation is barely even real. Motivation is like, I don't even think the word motivation describes what motivation is very well. Motivation is like, it's like a hit of a drug. It's like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Like, motivation is like, it's like a bong hit, honestly. It's like smoking some weed. If anyone's ever taken a bong hit, it's like, that's motivation. It's like a bong hit of motivation is what happens. And it lasts like a day, maybe 2 days. And then the motivation leaves. It's literally like a drug. Motivation is like an addiction, because if you don't follow up with your motivation, if you don't turn that 5% variance into a reoccurring thought, then your motivation is just a high. It's nothing but a high, because you haven't taken the motivation and used it to turn it into positive momentum in your life and actually make a change. So you're just high on your own motivation. You're high on your own supply, right? You're literally smoking your motivation out of a bong, taking bong hit motivation, and literally not doing anything of it in your real life. So doesn't mean shit. It's not even real. Motivation's not even real. It's like a fake feeling. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's like a completely fake, falsified reality. You're literally kidding yourself into believing that you can do this thing, because motivation has never gotten anyone successful. Successful people, they take that motivation and they spawn it into their reality. If you don't spawn it into your reality, then you cannot expect to be successful. All right, that is just the bottom line. If you don't take motivation, spawn it into your reality through posters, pictures, fucking lettuce, literally sticky notes on your lettuce, phone backgrounds, computer backgrounds, whatever it takes, then you are kidding yourself if you believe that you can just follow this program for absolutely no reason and change your 5% variance without putting anything new into your environment. Because I can't sit there and handhold you across the finish line. I cannot fly myself out to wherever it is you live in your house, and remind you every single day to log your shit, to hop onto the app. Mind you, the app has daily reminders for this very reason. The app literally sends you notifications to remind you. So the only reason that I can see that you're not following the plan is if you literally haven't figured out why you're even doing it in the first place. And so I want you to ask yourself, I'm asking you here now, why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to have a six pack? Why do you want to have a beach body? Why do you want to be healthier? What's the point? Why do you want more confidence? What's it for? Why do you need more confidence? Why can't you just be fine with how you are right now? Why can't you just be complacent? And if you can't figure out answers to these questions, then I'm questioning why you even have a goal like getting a six pack in the first place. Because it obviously means nothing to you. It's obviously pointless to you at the end of the day. And if you can't figure out your why, then I would caution you in trying to pursue a goal that you know goes against, your own morals, your own reasoning, your own why. Because there's no point in setting a goal that you know you can't accomplish. There's no point in setting a goal that you know you're going to fail at. Because, I talk about how failure is a lesson learned, but if you're not willing to analyze, learn, and implement, then failure is not a lesson. It's just failure. Failure can either be failure legit or a lesson. And if you don't have a reason to get back on the horse, analyze your failure, and figure out why you failed, then your why is not strong enough. And you should ask yourself, why the fuck are you doing this shit anyway? All right, guys. So sit with that question a little bit. That brings us to the end of today's podcast, right? Hopefully you got some value. Hopefully you can figure out your reasons why. If you're someone who can follow the plan, then your why is strong enough. If you're someone that can't follow the plan, you need to figure out your why. You need to remind yourself of your why every single day, and you need to write down shit to turn that 5% variance into a reoccurring thought, or do something in your environment to change your mindset, to change your brain, to kind of rewire and program your brain. Our brains are programmed, right? Our brains are programmable. We're so much more prone to our environment than people realize. Tony Robbins talks about this study all the time, where, let me see if I can paraphrase the study for you guys real quick before I close this shit out. Where they'll give people, this was a study that they did. I don't know who did it, so don't quote me on this shit, but Tony Robbins talks about it. He's a very credible man. They give people a story to read about a person, and they give them, the subject reading the story, hot coffee and cold coffee. And then after they read the story, they ask them what they thought about the characters in the story. And it's miraculous. The people with the cold coffee, drinking the cold coffee, describe the people as cold, describe the people as what was it, like slow, cold, slow. And then the people with the hot coffee, they describe them as angry, hot, heated, on fire. This is the power of our environment. And so if you're not programming your environment to change your mindset, then you're destined to fail. You cannot control your mind and your actions as well as you can control your environment, and your environment controls your actions stronger than anything you can ever dream possible, right? So change your environment and you'll change your fucking life. All right, guys, that brings me to the end of today's podcast. Again, I hope you got some value. If you did get value out of today's podcast, would you please screenshot my face, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at _Garrett Wolf, and I will reshare it to my story and send you a free motherfucking gift. This was honestly a banger, guys. I hope you guys got some value for real out of this one. And you can go make some fucking action steps in your real life to make some progress towards your goals IRL, because I've been trying to find motivation in my life, and it's just reminding, this podcast, I honestly love doing it because it just reminds me of my own why, reminds me of my reasons. I want freedom, I want to make an impact, I want to be the motherfucking guy. I honestly just want to be at the top because I believe that I'm strong enough to do so. And I want to help people on the way up. I want to bring other people up there with me so that we can all just live the best life we possibly can. And that's why I'm trying to help you guys out. That's why, I'm teaching you what I know how. I learned from people who know more than me. And then I try to teach you guys about it through my own networks. And that's all we can really do in this life, right, guys? So I appreciate you all for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next podcast episode. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you got some value. If you did get value and you want to learn a little bit more about how you can go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, just head over to my Instagram at _Garrett Wolf, DM me the word six-pack, and I'll reach out to you and see if I can help. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you all in the next podcast episode. Peace.